I just want to make sure, July 21st was a Sunday. We've had 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 1 day since Joe Biden stepped aside. The only damn place we've seen Kamala Harris is at pep rallies. What's up? Somebody got to say something. And it can't just be the conservatives. Right is right. I'm talking to my sister here. Come on now. You're going to intensify and elevate the importance of securing our borders. Were you always that way? You no longer support a national ban on fracking. Also, you no longer support the elimination of private health insurance. Is it true that one time you supported those things? When did your mind change? How long ago was that? When were you going to tell the American people? Why'd you keep it from everybody? And yes, it is a legitimate question. How much did you know about Joe Biden and the slippage, the cognitive decline that so many people have alluded to on both sides of the aisle now? Did you ever feel compelled to tell anybody? I know you didn't want to come out and dime them out publicly, but privately, were you working behind the scenes? Did you tell folks about this? Did you talk to Joe Biden himself about that? These are legitimate questions.
Hey guys, welcome back to That Liminal Period. It's your girl, Chun-Li Shoddy. So I came across a clip from the Stephen A. Smith podcast that I wanted to share with you guys because I think it is a great example of people who are voting based on their emotions and based on identity politics and just throwing common sense and logic to the wayside. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are going to be voting this upcoming election that are thinking just like Stephen A. Smith. We as people should be doing better and should be challenging ourselves and don't just give away our votes. So anyways, let's get into today's clip.
A New York Times/Siena College poll released Saturday shows Vice President Kamala Harris leading former President Donald Trump in 3 key swing states. The poll, conducted between August 5th and August 9th, found that if the election were held today, 50% of voters among the likely electorate in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania would choose Harris, while 46% say they would choose Donald Trump. The Harris campaign has gotten a boost since President Joe Biden dropped out of the race last month, July 21st to be exact, and endorsed his VP. She's raised more than $300 million and has drawn Trump-like crowds at rally stops in Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, and Nevada. Before I get to my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, let me show y'all this poll to juxtapose what was transpiring in June. National poll, August 12th, has Harris up 48% to 47% for Trump. That's as of today, okay? That's what the national poll average is showing. Less than 2 months ago, June 28th, Trump had a 5-point lead, okay? So let's understand something. Let's understand this right now. This is a beautiful thing. If you're a Democrat, you're a leftist, because you're looking at it, in my opinion, all wrong. Let me be the first to say, that doesn't mean shit to me.
Let's get into it.
To me. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to decide whether you're trying to win or not. And whether you truly believe you deserve to win. Now, I've been on the record. I'm going to support my sister Kamala Harris.
But why?
HBCU grad just like myself, Vice President of the United States of America, former Attorney General for the state of California,
locked up everybody,
District Attorney in the city of San Francisco.
Ain't do shit.
I see what folks have been saying. Not all, not most, but some folks have been trying to say about her. You understand, questioning her intellect and all of this other stuff. Now, I ain't going for that. We ain't going to get into the questioning her ethnicity either. You don't sit up there and get to tell us if we got a speck of black in our blood, then guess what? We black. But then all of a sudden, she's running for the president of the United States. You want to ask questions, is she black? Or is she Indian? I don't know.
She's not black. And it's okay. It's really okay. Again, like, the only person that is making it about identity politics is Kamala, and that's why we're putting it into question.
I don't know. No, we don't get to do that. We ain't doing that, all right? But having said all of that, fair is fair. Fair is fair to independents out there. Fair is fair to conservatives and Republicans out there. There's certain things that we have to hold both sides to. Now, Joe Biden stepped aside as the presumptive Democratic nominee on July 21st. Okay? Now I'm going to look at this right now. I'm looking at my calendar because I just want to make sure. July 21st was a Sunday. We've had 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 1 day since Joe Biden stepped aside. The only damn place we've seen Kamala Harris is at pep rallies.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? Somebody got to say something. And it can't just be the conservatives. Right is right. I'm talking to my sister here. Come on now. You running for the presidency of the United States of America. You got my vote.
But why? But why? Again, like you said, we haven't heard nothing from Kamala since Joe Biden stepped down from the campaign. Like, what exactly are her policies? Why are you giving her your vote? And the thing that pisses me off is because there are plenty of people that are just like the Stephen A. Smith, and his vote is going to cancel out my vote.
You running for the presidency of the United States of America. What you hiding for? And I mean hiding in plain sight. Somebody got to say it. Somebody got to say it. Now, you can't be running for the presidency of the United States. Not one single press conference, not one single one-on-one sit-down interview where somebody gets to question you about the questions that we ask. That's not fair. That's not fair. And if you're a conservative and you out there lambasting her for it, ridiculing her for it, trying to torment her for it or whatever, it is perfectly within your right to do so. All of you anti-conservatives out there, shut the hell up. That's a valid point. It ain't valid to bring up a blackness or an Indian heritage and to try to point to things of that nature. That's nonsense. But to ask her about her record, because she is attached to the Biden record,
and she has
it's
her
definitely
own.
apropos, especially when you were bragging about the record. We talked about Biden being a transformative president. Well, stand on it then. Stand on it. Where you at? No George Stephanopoulos, no Meet the Press, no State of the Union.
Nope.
What's up? No
Sit
Face the
down with
Nation.
Steven.
No Politico. No MSNBC. I understand why you wouldn't do Fox. Liberals don't really do Fox, just like conservatives don't really do MSNBC.
But y'all remember when Trump went to the Black journalist event, right? He also visited the Bronx, sat down with Elon Musk, sat down with Aiden Ross. Okay, Trump is out there making his policies known. He's going out there and speaking to the people so that people have a valid reason and understanding as to why he deserves their vote. But where is Kamala outside of just presenting Megan Thee Stallion and her little cameo at the BET Award? Where is Kamala? Where does she stand on things?
You're welcome to the Stephen A. Smith Show. I will gladly interview Donald Trump. I will gladly interview Kamala Harris. Name the time or place. I'll come to you. I'll come to you. I'll show up. Anytime. And I'm no political aficionado. I'm going to need fact checkers. I don't know everything that y'all going to say. But I know this much. I know how to ask the questions that Americans want to know.
You have the questions yourself, Stephen. You have these questions, yet somehow she already has your vote. This is what I mean by he's voting
Kamala
with his
Harris.
emotions.
There are certain things that we have to ask you a question about.
Nah, forget that. Forget that. Forget that. Where's the energy for these questions before you decided that you're going to vote for Kamala? Where's that energy?
There's simply no way of getting around certain things. Weren't you against fracking? Is that true? And now you're for it? Just asking. These are important questions to think about. You're going to intensify and elevate the importance of securing our borders. Were you always that way?
Nope. And she's the border czar. She literally didn't even go down to the border for like over a year. And her response when she was asked that was, well, I haven't been to Europe either. Like, get girl.
It's a legitimate question.
They are legit.
You no longer support a national ban on fracking. Also, you no longer support the elimination of private health insurance. Is it true that one time you supported those things? When did your mind change? How long ago was that? When were you going to tell the American people? Why'd you keep it from everybody?
Because she don't feel like she owes any answers. And you know what? Why does she? The tactic, the MO that she's approaching the election with is working. As you guys could see in the poll, there are plenty of people that are saying that they're gonna vote for Kamala despite not knowing what her policies are. Stephen A. Smith being a prime example of today's conversation.
And yes, it is a legitimate question. How much did you know about Joe Biden and the slippage? The cognitive decline that so many people have alluded to on both sides of the aisle now. Did you ever feel compelled to tell anybody? I know you didn't want to come out and dime them out publicly, but privately, were you working behind the scenes? Did you tell folks about this? Did you talk to Joe Biden himself about that?
He's technically still president. She's not going to come out and answer any questions on that because, again, that would put America at risk. Having him as the president right now is having us at risk. There's already an understanding that he is not well enough mentally to run for the election. So what business do you have running the country for another, 4 months at this point?
These are legitimate questions for a presidential candidate. And the reason why I think it's important, ladies and gentlemen, to bring this issue up. I support Kamala Harris over Donald Trump.
Why? It's the Trump derangement that is growing the popularity for Kamala Harris. That's it. The reason most people are giving as far as why they're voting for Kamala is because they don't like Trump, because they don't want him in office, because he's a racist, because he's a misogynist, because he's a sexist, because we want to see representation. It's BS, and it's based off of emotions and not based on logic and not based off of what you think is going to be best for our country, what you think is going to be best for your children. Like, it's getting ridiculous.
But fair is fair. Why is it more important than ever before? I could bring up Hillary Rodham Clinton in 2016. And I understand that James Comey came about and basically got in the way of everything with the whole deleted email scandal just a couple of weeks before Election Day. But isn't it true that you thought you had the election in the bag and didn't necessarily campaign in places like Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, swing states like that, prior to the election? While Donald Trump did campaign in those elections in 2016? Is it not true that just in this cycle, that there wasn't really a primary for the Democrats? Because the way was paved for...
Y'all hear this, right? Y'all hear this, right? I'm gonna go ahead and rewind it because I think this is a very important part of democracy, which is us being able to vote and state our opinions and decide who are we going to elect into office. And this is something that I feel like so many people on the left are overlooking because, again, they're just pure hatred for Trump.
Is it not true that just in this cycle that there wasn't really a primary for the Democrats? Because the way was paved for President Joe Biden. This is not about Kamala Harris. This is about the Democratic Party. How dare you? How dare you? If the man is ready and qualified to run for the presidency of the United States of America, why are you getting in the way of competition? Let the American people decide. I don't give a damn if it's Dean Phillips or somebody else. Let us decide. We're the voters. Let us decide. That's all I'm saying. I'm talking to the Democrats and the Republicans. You see, when you want to sit up there and you want to crucify Donald Trump, I'm down for that. I don't like a lot of stuff about Donald Trump. I can't deny, however, the man does a whole bunch of interviews. Getting ready to get interviewed by Elon Musk. Showed up to the National Association of Black Journalists. Knew that wasn't going to be a pleasant experience. You saw.
But where's Kamala?
Didn't even say hello. How are you? We saw that. But he was there. I saw Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley. I saw people trying to knock him off in the primaries. The Republican conservative folks in this country spoke. We want Donald Trump, they said. Okay. 2 impeachments, $454 million civil case, 34 felony convictions. They said, we don't give a damn. He's our guy.
Can we say the same about Kamala?
Did we really get
That's
to make
your
that
girl?
choice about Joe Biden?
Nope.
We didn't. Because there was no primary. Perhaps if there was competition, perhaps if he had to compete for the position, and we heard other voices emanating from the Democratic side, from the left side, from the progressive side, we would have felt better. But the road was paved for Joe Biden to cakewalk to the Democratic convention to be the official Democratic nominee until he showed up for a debate on June 27th.
When
and
he
all hell
finally
broke
showed
loose
up.
thereafter. Had it not been for that, all we would have been doing was talking. But he still would have showed up in Chicago a week from now for the Democratic National Convention and pushed in as the Democratic nominee. Wait a minute. If that's the case, what's right about that? Now, you Kamala Harris, let me say this. I'm not saying this to malign you. I'm saying this because I believe in you.
Despite everything he just
I
said.
believe you show up on a debate stage against Donald Trump and you'll do your thing.
She couldn't even show up against Tulsi Gabbard, bro.
That sister will come out and you'll be ready. As you stated eloquently during your first press conference as a presumptive nominee, I know Donald Trump's type. So you can handle your business. I believe. Do you believe?
Nope. No, I don't believe in her, and I don't know why you do, Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. We don't know her policies, so I don't know why you think she deserves your vote. And if you're just giving them away, then no, she doesn't have to answer any questions. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think. I've enjoyed this conversation. I hope you guys did too, and I look forward to speaking with you guys next time. Bye.